let's turn to mixed martial arts. China's Zhang Weili retained her women's strawweight title at UFC 248 by winning a split decision over Poland's Joanna Jedrzejczyk. From an early age, Zhang naturally took a keen interest in martial arts, as her hometown of Handan in northern China's Hebei province is the cradle of an important school of Kung Fu. Zhang vowed early on not to have her life defined by the others. The road to defending her title has been fraught with difficulties, including the coronavirus outbreak, which forced her to take an epic and extended journey to the U.S. But that added challenge has made it all the more significant. Earlier, I had the chance to talk to Zhang in a video interview to learn more about her preparations and her feelings after her brilliant win. Let's listen in. And now I'm joined from Las Vegas by Weili Zhang.
Hello, I'm Zhang Weili. I'm from China. I'm a strawweight champion, UFC strawweight champion.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. And you know, so many girls around the world are proud of you, of your performance, and also of your personality. How did you recover so quickly? It seems you're in great shape.
Yes, 我的脸恢复得很快，因为我觉得我比较年轻。
My face recovers quickly because I think I'm younger, so my metabolism is better. And I also use infrared light to illuminate my wounds, so the blood clot can coagulate faster.
那个淤血就更容易吸收。
You look wonderful. You know, we heard about the news that the Polish fighter you won over also want to challenge you again. Are you going to accept it?
Yeah, I have heard of that she wants a rematch, but I think now is not the time. There's a lot of fighters who want to challenge me for the title, and she needs more time to prove herself.
Well said, I think. She needs to prove herself. How would you make yourself always in the best shape for all kinds of challenges from today on? Because you are the strawweight champion now.
我觉得首先呢，我要对胜利非常非常渴望。
First of all, I was very eager to win. Then I needed to keep a good state of mind, eager to learn new things every day, have a goal to train for every day, so that I can make some progress every day.
渴望的一个东西。
You experienced a lot even before you got the title. Tell me more about that. Let's start by talking about how you eventually make that 3-week journey to Las Vegas and finally got into the ring.
我是2月1号。
On February 1st, the UFC told me that the flights between China and the US were all cancelled, so I needed to travel to Thailand for my following preparation. So we packed up immediately and arrived in Thailand that afternoon. It took me a whole week to adjust to the humid climate, and I could not even breathe in the first 3 days. Yet I was told to travel again, this time to Abu Dhabi, as the coronavirus also broke out in Thailand. To be honest, I broke down because it was so hard and unfair for me. I called my mother to tell her the story, and she encouraged me by telling me how those who stand in the front line to fight against the virus, the doctors, nurses, and even food couriers. She said, everyone's working hard to do their job, and so should you. And that helped me calm down to concentrate on my preparations.
But then from there, Abu Dhabi to eventually to Las Vegas, and you were saying after the match that you did not perform 100% satisfactory to yourself because of the 3-week saga on the road. Tell me, how do you, as an athlete, when there, in the performance, in the match, be able to bring out the utmost still to fight against the opponent?
其实来到美国以后，
I suffered from jet lag after arriving in the US. I could only sleep for 4 or 5 hours before getting up for training, so I kept imagining myself winning the fight and wearing the belt. I was devoted to winning in order to share the glory and give encouragement to both the patients and healthcare workers in China. I think my country needed this victory. Every day I read news about the coronavirus in China. The numbers and reports were depressing, so I wanted to win it for China, to cheer my compatriots up.
因为我觉得现在的中国非常需要一场胜利。
You did it, not only for yourself, but also, as you said, to encourage everyone here in China and even beyond. Another thing, before the game, Of course, your opponent, according to the UFC tradition, is trying to, irritate you. That's just one of those process before the start of the game. But she said something kind of discriminative, at least according to what you think, about China and about a country which is going through a public health crisis. How did you come up with the way to respond to her? Why did you respond in the way that you did?
I think Asian culture is very different from Western culture. We are more reserved and modest, while Westerners are brazen. I was really angry about what she said. If it was aimed at me personally, I wouldn't be so angry. What she was doing was making fun of this COVID-19 tragedy. It is very inappropriate. The outbreak was really devastating at that time. Many people lost their lives. Imagine if a father lost his life in the outbreak. What is left was a broken family. So I was really angry and I hope she remained fit before we met for the match.
You said something very straightforward at a press conference just before the game when she was trying to irritate you again. Of course, this is already after her trying to use some discriminative words after the first round with you. So what did you say in front of the camera? It was very impressive. Weili.
Yes, I say shut up, shut up.
Yes, I said shut up because I don't want to argue with her. You can't win a match by playing mind games and arguing. The only way to win respect from opponents is using my fists.
When you eventually won, what you just said and experienced, were they still with you?
It's all past. What I needed to do is get well prepared and for another brilliant win, and adjust myself to remain fighting fit. I always treat every match as my first match, giving 100% and winning the next match. To be in the best shape will ensure a very good performance.
Maybe in November, the next match.
Yes, yes.
Okay, wow.
Maybe New York.
All right, we are looking forward to it. The outbreak of this new coronavirus temporarily isolated Zhang Weili and her family. And because of bruises on her face, the UFC female champion declined the video calls with loved ones. Despite the bruises, she puts on her game face for her MMA career. Zhang Weili's coach, Cai Shijun, also said his student is a persistent person. He recounts her progress from an amateur to a professional and how the champion on the ground, in fact, may remain for some to be a great hero. And now we are also joined not only by Weili but also her coach, Mr. Cai Shijun. Mr. Cai, welcome to our program. What do you make of the performance by Weili?
我觉得她打得不错。
I think she did well. At the beginning of the competition, I felt she didn't find her own footing and was in a free state. After the first round, she told me that she was particularly dizzy at that time. I said, you must be focused. You must think about what we have practiced before, and you must do this. Then, in the second and third rounds, she gradually found her own rhythm. I think the biggest challenge this time was that the opponent was on the offense. This differs from previous bouts in the competition where Weili was on the offense and the opponents were on the defense. After the opponent hit her, she could calm down and analyze and digest the process by herself, and then gradually find her own rhythm, so that after the third, fourth, and fifth rounds, she was playing at her own pace. In fact, if we follow our previous preparation methods, Weili should start fighting like in the fourth round from the start, but she was completely dizzy because she hadn't slept well for the past 2 nights. The day before the match, she lost weight, and she didn't have time to take a rest during the day because of many interviews. At the night before the match, she slept for about 8 hours, but woke up many times. I know that for Weili, when she is very tired, she needs to have a rest. Then she'll transform, not only for her condition and strength, but her mental state will also clear up, which always happens when she is training. She was fatigued before the final. It really made me worry, but eventually she found her form.
We understand that Weili has been going through a very difficult process before she finds her position now. She used to be doing free combat. After finishing doing it in the sports school, she has to go to the society, do all kinds of work. You know, shopping assistant, a kindergarten teacher, a salesperson, you name it. And eventually she found UFC and where she is today. Tell me more about how she managed to do it. What is likely to be with her throughout this process?
Weili 呢，就是她非常执着。
Weili is a very persistent person. She always takes it very seriously when she chooses to do something. The first time I met her was in 2012. She was training very differently from others. Once she was injured for 9 months. We kept taking her to rehabilitation, while she also did some rehabilitation training herself. After 9 months, she recovered. In fact, in these 9 months, many times we thought she would retire. We felt that she would definitely change careers. Actually, we had found a position for her at the advertising agency. Unexpectedly, she continued to exercise. And then her condition slowly got better. When she got better, she told me she wanted to keep fighting. Her goal was extremely clear. She said she would change from an amateur MMA athlete to a professional athlete. It took her about a few months to transform herself from an amateur to a professional. And after her first match, she was known in MMA in China. Many people began to pay attention to her. After 4 or 5 matches, she got the first golden belt in China. But her goal didn't waver. When she got the 2nd and 3rd gold belts, she said she was going to the UFC and play in the UFC octagon cage. At that time, in 2013, Weili saw a UFC female champion, the top woman in MMA at UFC. The champion fought in an octagonal cage and was revered by everyone. Weili told me she wanted to be like her, and she said that she must be like her as a champion one day.
Weili, as we know, when you are winning the champion of UFC, the world is experiencing this disaster of COVID-19. Any one of this event would have a big impact on any individual, but I want to ask you, you have both on your shoulder. What do you make of that experience? How is this likely, some wonder, to transform you?
我觉得这次我经历了
I got through a nerve-wracking pre-match preparation this time round and the sudden COVID-19 outbreak. I think the world has become a little smaller. It's now a global village with everyone being part of the bigger community. Our skin colors, ethnicities, and belief may be different, but the mutual trust and collaboration triumphs all. That, in my opinion, is the biggest immunity we can get. We're all in this together, rather than being indifferent to one another. Let me give an example. Suppose we all live in one building and there are cockroaches in your house. If everyone is mocking you rather than supporting you, pretty soon there will be cockroaches appearing in everybody's house. So when one gets in trouble, the rest should be there to help, to get through the trouble all together. We all live in this world, though there are many differences in who we are, but we are all human beings. With shared future and destiny, we should absolutely help each other.
过2天可能这栋楼上所有人家里都有了。
对，我非常同意。
I agree with what she said. Facing common challenges, we should help each other rather than being indifferent. Help solve each other's problems means solving our own problems. Helping others means helping ourselves.
需要相互帮助。
因为我举个特别简单，就是我在。
That's true. An example, we were facing a severe shortage of face masks in China at the time. We went to Thailand and there wasn't enough supply either. We went to every pharmacy store in Dubai and even the US. It's all out of stock. I think everyone lives in a village. If it runs out in one store, you won't find it anywhere else. So the world is indeed small but very much connected.
所以我觉得就世界非常小。
伟丽，那什么时候回家看妈妈？
我想现在就飞回去看她，因为我非常。
I wish I could go back to see her now. I miss my family so much, but I got to stay in Beijing for self-quarantine for 2 weeks. When everything settles, maybe when the outbreak is over, I could finally go back home to see my mother.
回家看她。
要跟妈妈在这儿说句话吗？也许你隔离之前，我们的节目就已经播出了啊。
我想跟她说的是。
I want to tell her every time I get injured after a match, she didn't really say something, but I know that really breaks her heart. After this match, I haven't been having video calls with my mother because I got bruises on my face. She will be really concerned seeing this. I'm waiting for the bruises to heal before I have video calls with her and telling her that I'm all good. I want to tell her that after all, I've chosen this career and I want to do my best and excel in it. Bruises means nothing to me. They'll recover in a number of days. I wish to be a role model for some young athletes and kids out there, hoping that our next generation can be physically fit and, more importantly, mentally strong.
Thank you so much, Weili and
好的。
蔡，谢谢。We are proud of you.
丢音没进
Yay.
Bye.
Bye. Our exclusive interview with Zhang Weili, a brilliant fighter and a smart lady too. And that's all we have for today. If you'd like to see more, try to find us World Insight CGTN into your search engine. Check out our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Tian Wei. On behalf of the team, thanks for watching. Bye for now.